Hey y'all, it's April the 8th, 2017, and let's go ahead and start off this video by demonstrating that it should be clearly foolish to think that bombing or sending missiles upon an Assad regime's airfields, it would absolutely do nothing at all to deter a radical dictator such as Assad's being made out to be. It would be nothing to deter him from continuing to gas folks if that's what he wanted to do. If we're living in a crazy, extreme, upside down world, and Assad really does want to gas his folks, and I'm putting out there that that could be a possibility, bombing his airfields, sending missiles at them, would do nothing to deter the situation. It's as though, like, if you knew a serial killer down the street and you wanted to stop him from doing his serial killing that he loves to do so much, and so you go ahead and blow up his car while he's not in it. It's the same line of reasoning. In fact, let's imagine that the serial killer in question has multiple cars, and you blow up one. Right? The serial killer more likely will not be phased. He won't be changed or swayed. He'll still go out doing serial killing. He has different other cars to do it. Alright, so I wanted to start off this video in that way because that is the line of reasoning that I'm hearing a lot of people use to include a Hillary Clinton came out of nowhere. And yet again, she's wearing some sort of golden brown garbage bag suit over herself. And she was talking about, oh, we need to take out his airfields. We need to take out Assad's airfields. Is that all of his airfields that we bombed? Maybe, maybe not. Assad has different ways and means, assuredly. And if his total agenda revolved around gassing his own people for some reason, airstrikes would not deter it. In fact, it would only escalate into a bigger war, which may probably happen. Probably will happen. Right? Thing is, I mean, really, to get down to the bottom of this whole situation, what I'm here to tell you, and I've already experienced, is that you're going to have to listen to a whole bunch of different perspectives in order to even scratch the surface of what's taking place right here, right now, considering the Syrian, the missiles that we done launched at them. Right, you're gonna have to listen to a lot of different perspectives because this is a very, very contentious and also just very confusing situation that's going on. Hardly anybody has all the details, but there are a lot of people who are going out and they're finding out the details. Right, trying to get down to the bottom of this, what is going on, because here's the thing, many people, of course, backed Donald Trump because they felt like he would not take this action that he just took right now. They thought that he would leave his nose up out of Syria. And the thing is, yeah, lots of bad things might happen in Syria. There's been people who've been crucified up in Syria. But leave his nose out of it. The thing is, he did not leave his nose out of it. The thing is, he started sounding a lot like a John McCain, a lot like a John Kerry, a lot like a Hillary Clinton. In fact, he started sounding a lot like them. And that's interesting. So a lot of Trump supporters are feeling some sort of way. A lot of anti-Trump supporters are feeling some sort of way. A lot of anti-Trump supporters are absolutely 100% down with sending missiles at Syrian air bases for whatever reason. Maybe they don't even know the reason. Alright, so it's a very complicated situation. And I want to stress that here's a point that I pointed out a couple times already, to go and get one perspective or one area of perspective on this particular situation is absolutely retarded. You're not going to get to the bottom of anything, especially if you're laying your eyes on a television. If you're simply doing that, you might as well hang it up. This situation is way too complicated for that. And you can go on the internet and only try and get one perspective, only get one angle on the whole situation, and you're not going to understand it. God bless you. There's no way that you could understand it. Right? You gotta understand this is a situation that's so complicated, and we like to deal with simplistic things on this channel, but it's so complicated that there is no, I mean, shoot, we're talking about months and years of research going to take place to just unravel this whole can of worms and stuff, man. Like, alright, you gotta understand that regardless of if I like what happened, the missiles, if you like what happened in Syria with the missiles, that's irregardless. Alright, I'm gonna let you know that I don't. In fact, that's that shit that I don't like. I want you to keep your missiles up out of Syria. I don't even want to hear about a safe zone, to be honest with you. That's my personal opinion. Alright, so, you know, with that all in mind, you have to understand that Donald Trump, regardless, we got to go with facts. We got to stop thinking about our opinions and dwelling on whether we like stuff. Just consider the facts, and the facts is this: Donald Trump, and it's been made apparent, Donald Trump does things that you don't exactly know why. Like, he seems to be several steps ahead no matter what he does. Alright, love him or hate him, he does seem to come out on top. He's been doing it for a while now. He's been making a reputation revolving around coming out on top and being a few steps ahead in every situation. So knowing that he's not only a few steps ahead, there's so many factors that go into this, because Syria, it's like the bones in your body. The Syria bone's connected to the Russia bone. The Russia bone's connected to the China bone. China bone's connected to the North Korea bone. These things are all connected. Alright, so, I mean, to think for 1 second that those particular missile shootings at Syria, to think that that had absolutely zero to do with the fact that Donald Trump was literally meeting with Xi Jinping, the Chinese president, whatever his name is, was literally meeting with him at that very same time. You think that had nothing to do with? I mean, of course it had everything to do with it. So you got to start piecing together the puzzles of China, Iran, Russia, Syria, Libya. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that it has everything. See, Donald Trump, and I had to admit to this, I don't like the Syrian missile things. Alright? Do not want to see any more of that. And in my eyes, there's no excuse. I don't want to see our missiles being launched into Syria and anything. Alright? But at the same time, a clear, concise message, this is fact, was being sent to Xi Jinping, and he did hear it. How he's going to react to that, who knows? But there was a message sent clearly to the president of China regarding these specific missiles hitting Syria. Alright, so there was a message being sent. What exactly is that message? What exactly does the president of China feel about that? Alright, does he like that? Does he endorse that kind of thing? I'm willing to bet you he doesn't. Meanwhile, there's all sort of possibilities on how the chemicals might have gotten all over, you know, those Syrian citizens. Could it have been chlorine gas? Could it have been, what's that other one? I want to say sarin gas. Right? Wasn't one of those? Maybe it was. See, the thing is, there's a range of possibilities that could have happened. Maybe Assad went all crazy cuckoo nutballs and started gassing his own people with no clear agenda. Maybe he did do that. All right. At the same time, maybe his forces, because they're at war, it's called a civil war. Maybe his forces went ahead and bombed these rebel Al Qaeda, ISIS, terror-loving dudes with all sort of stockpiles of sarin. Maybe that place got bombed, and that's what spread the sarin all over the place. In which case, you really couldn't blame Assad's forces for doing that. How are they supposed to know where there's sarin and stuff? I mean, sarin is not supposed to be a safe base. You can't just live all around sarin and stuff and be terrorists all you want. That is a possibility. There's other possibilities on how and why and who administered those chemical warfare things. And now, to me, that's almost beside the point. Honestly, because I live in America, and here's the thing, bad things been happening to Syrians. Regardless of whether or not I like it, for the past years and years, bad things been happening to Syrians. To think that, you know, saying my government's going to go ahead and drop bombs on them, that's going to stop anything, that's hilarious. It's actually terrifying to think that anybody could think on this level. So you have to know that the on the surface, what first meets the eyes, factors of this whole situation really need to be put to bed. It need to be put in the back of your head. You need to be thinking that this situation is actually extremely complicated. All right, I'm not excusing Donald Trump, me personally, for what's been done. However, maybe this is a chess game that I don't quite understand yet. And I'm willing to bet you dimes to donuts that 98% of America ain't no chance they're gonna understand really what's going on here. I'm talking about 97, 98. Really won't be able to even grasp the absolute absurd complexity of this whole situation. However, everybody's going to remember April 6, 2017. You better believe it. We're living in a tribulation, you guys. I'm going to stay on top of this situation. I'm going to collect different perspectives, such as a Steve Pachinik, such as an InfoWars, such as people who don't like Trump, such as people who don't like war, such as people who do like it. I'm going to get to the bottom of this. Alright? And, you know, it don't even matter, because if I weren't going to do it, there's many, many other people who's going to do it, dude. We're sinking our teeth in. We want to know the truth. Tired of being lied to. Anyway, it's April the 8th, 2017. I'll holler at y'all.